My name is Allison, and for most of my 17 years, my world was a small, quiet room, a landscape of beeping machines, and the hushed voices of nurses. I was born with a weak heart, a ticking clock that tethered me to a life of limits and constant worry. While other teenagers dreamt of school dances, first crushes, and road trips, I dreamt of walking up a flight of stairs without gasping for air, of feeling a heartbeat that was strong and steady, my own. My days were a blur of medication schedules and doctor's appointments, leaving me feeling like a fragile bird with clipped wings, watching the vibrant world pass by outside my window. My distinctive quality was my quiet determination, a deep-seated hope that one day I would get to live a normal life, to truly experience the world beyond the hospital walls. Then came the call. A heart. A match. The surgery was a miracle, a terrifying yet exhilarating leap of faith. Waking up, I felt a new kind of energy coursing through me, a vibrant pulse thrumming in my chest that wasn't my own, yet was now perfectly mine. It was a new beginning, a chance to finally spread my wings. For the first few weeks, it was pure bliss. I was getting stronger every day, enjoying simple pleasures like a long walk in the park or staying up late reading. But then the dreams started. They weren't like my usual hazy, comforting dreams. These were vivid, sharp, almost like memories. I saw a girl with bright, laughing eyes, a splash of red hair, a specific street corner at dusk, felt the chill of rain on my skin, heard a fragment of a song playing from a distant car radio. At first, I dismissed them as post-operative weirdness, my brain adjusting to its new normal. But they grew more intense, more frequent, always featuring this same unknown girl. Then came the fear. A sudden, visceral terror that wasn't mine. A feeling of being pushed, falling, the hard impact of cold concrete, a sharp pain, and then a heavy, suffocating darkness. It was terrifyingly real, leaving me shaking and drenched in sweat. I began to draw the face I saw in my dreams, the street corner, the dark alley. It felt like a debt I had to pay, a voice crying out from within me, demanding to be heard. I knew, deep down, that these were not my memories. They belonged to the young woman whose heart now beat in my chest, and she was in trouble. Or rather, she had been. My problem was clear. The young woman who gave me life, Chloe, had lost hers under suspicious circumstances, and I was the only one who knew it wasn't an accident. I felt a burning need to solve her murder, to find out who had done this to her, and why. The killer, my nemesis, was still out there, unaware that their secret was beating inside me. I started my search online, driven by the fragments of Chloe's memories that flickered through my mind. I searched for news of missing girls, for unexplained deaths around the time of my transplant. It was a long shot, but I had to try. One afternoon, a grainy newspaper article popped up. Local teen Chloe Miller found deceased, death ruled accidental. The picture next to the headline made my new heart leap into my throat. It was her. The girl from my memories, the one with the bright eyes and red hair. Chloe Miller, 18 years old, found months after her disappearance, cause of death inconclusive, ruled an accidental fall. A bitter taste filled my mouth. An accident? My memories screamed otherwise. I printed out the article, my hands trembling. Chloe was my donor. I visited the address mentioned in the article, a quiet, unassuming house on a tree-lined street. I didn't knock. I just stood there, a profound sadness washing over me, a feeling that wasn't entirely my own. The memories grew stronger, almost demanding. I saw the alley, the one that haunted my dreams, the place the newspaper claimed Chloe had fallen. I went there, a forgotten, narrow passage behind a row of shops. The ground was rough, covered in discarded trash. I walked its length, Chloe's fear pressing down on me. The police report mentioned a broken railing, a slip. But I remembered a push. I remembered a car, a dark sedan with a dented rear fender, idling nearby. I remembered a voice, low and angry, arguing with Chloe just before everything went black. I tried to talk to Chloe's friends, finding them through old social media posts. They were polite but wary, still grieving and clearly uncomfortable with a stranger asking about the details of Chloe's death. They dismissed my questions about an argument or a specific car, saying Chloe was sometimes impulsive, prone to being in the wrong place at the wrong time. Even my own family, seeing my obsession, grew concerned. My mother gently suggested I was experiencing trauma, the mind playing tricks after such a major surgery. They wanted me to heal, to focus on living, not on a ghost. I felt isolated, alone in my knowledge. The problem was growing bigger. Not only was a killer walking free, but no one believed me. Then, a new memory surfaced, terrifyingly clear. It wasn't just a voice anymore. It was a face, shadowed but distinct, belonging to the man Chloe had been arguing with. And a name, whispered in fear, Marcus. I searched online for anyone named Marcus connected to Chloe Miller. There were a few, but one stood out, a man named Marcus Thorne, a local business owner, slightly older, rumored to have had a brief, messy relationship with Chloe before she vanished. A shiver ran down my spine. The memory also showed Chloe holding a small, silver locket, a gift from her grandmother. The police report hadn't mentioned a locket. I went back to the alley, this time with a flashlight, ignoring the growing fear. I searched every crack, every crevice, fueled by Chloe's desperate memory of losing it. And there it was, lodged deep beneath a loose brick, just as she remembered it, a small, tarnished silver locket. It was proof. I took it to Detective Hayes, the lead investigator on Chloe's original case. He was kind but dismissive, attributing the locket's discovery to a thorough cleaning by the city, not a missed clue. He reiterated the accidental death ruling, suggesting I focus on my recovery. He even subtly hinted that my continued inquiries might be viewed as harassment of Chloe's family. I left his office feeling completely defeated, my hope dwindling to a tiny flicker. It felt like Marcus Thorne was untouchable, protected by a sloppy investigation and my own perceived fragility. The memories were a curse as much as a gift. All felt truly lost, but I couldn't abandon Chloe. Her strength, her defiance, pulsed within me. I knew the locket wasn't enough, not without more context. A new fragment of a memory flashed through my mind, a specific location Chloe always kept secret. A small, forgotten recess behind the old public library where she sometimes hid a waterproof journal. She used to write down everything there, especially things she couldn't tell anyone else. It was a long shot, risky, but it was my only chance. I waited until dusk, my heart hammering against my ribs, a mixture of Allison's fear and Chloe's determination. The library was closing, and the area around the old stone wall was deserted. My hands trembled as I felt around the rough, damp stones, guided by Chloe's vivid memory of the exact spot. My fingers brushed against something cold and smooth. A small, plastic-wrapped journal. Inside, Chloe's hurried script detailed her final days, her excitement about a scholarship, and then her fear. She had uncovered evidence that Marcus Thorne, the very same man from my memories, was embezzling funds from his family's business. She had confronted him, threatening to expose him. The last entry was chilling. Marcus knows I know. He said he'd make sure I disappeared. I'm meeting him tonight at the alley to talk, try to reason with him. Pray for me. As I read, a shadow fell over me. Looking for something, Allison? The voice was low, menacing. I spun around. Marcus Thorne. He had followed me. His eyes were cold, devoid of warmth, the same eyes that haunted Chloe's last moments. You really are too smart for your own good, just like Chloe, he sneered, stepping closer, blocking my escape. He lunged, trying to snatch the journal, but I was no longer the fragile girl I once was. Chloe's strength surged through me. I dodged him, clutching the journal tightly. You pushed her, Marcus. You killed her because she was going to expose you? I shouted, my voice surprisingly steady. He paused, his face twisting into a snarl. She was going to ruin everything. It was an accident, she tripped. He spat, but his eyes betrayed him. He took another step, reaching for me. Just then, a police car, responding to an anonymous tip I had sent about suspicious activity at the library, pulled around the corner. Marcus froze, his eyes wide with panic. The officer stepped out, asking what was going on. I held up the journal, my voice unwavering. He killed Chloe Miller. This journal proves it. The police reopened Chloe's case. With the journal as evidence, combined with the locket I had found earlier and my detailed testimony, they quickly pieced together the truth. Marcus Thorne was arrested and charged with Chloe Miller's murder. The irony was not lost on me, or on the prosecutors. The very heart he had silenced was now beating in the chest of the person who brought him to justice. I attended his trial, Chloe's family seated beside me, and as the verdict of guilty was read, I felt a wave of profound peace wash over me, a feeling that was both my own and hers. Chloe had finally received the justice she deserved. My life was forever changed. I was no longer just Allison, the girl with the weak heart. I was Allison, the girl who had given a voice to the silent, who had fought for justice beyond the grave. I returned to school, joined clubs, made friends, embracing every moment of my new, vibrant life. But I carried Chloe's spirit with me, a deep empathy for the unheard, a burning desire to help others. I started volunteering at a local legal aid clinic, feeling a new purpose guiding my every step. Months later, as I stood by Chloe's grave, placing a bouquet of her favorite wildflowers, a final, clear memory flashed through my mind, vivid and poignant. It wasn't of fear or pain, but of Chloe's last defiant thought, whispered into the cold night. "You won't get away with this, Marcus. Someone will know, someone will remember." And in that moment, I understood. Chloe's revenge wasn't just physical justice, but the enduring echo of her indomitable spirit, living on through me, forever intertwined, a silent promise to seek truth and justice wherever it was needed.